What is up, tasty people? It's your boy Tasty Penguin here, and we are back today with some Anthem discussions. And I just wanted to touch on a few points and a few things that people have been asking me and stuff, wanting to know if they should buy the game, if it was good enough, if it's going to live up to its expectations, and comparing it to this and that and all this other stuff. And I figured I would get on here and put in my 2 cents. I know a million people out there are making their reviews and deciding if they want to buy this game or telling people if they should or shouldn't. There's a lot of mixed feelings about it, but overall, in my opinion, it's very positive. A very, very positive experience, even with the server issues and stuff that happened in the game. Now, as far as buying the game, I'm just going to say straight off, if you are a person that is either a fan of Warframe or a fan of Destiny or even Borderlands, a looter shooter where you want to go out and keep gathering new stuff, hunting the world, exploring, and just going for that loot all the time, yes, buy this game. With everything that has been happening that is negative with this game, definitely buy this game, no matter what. That's my opinion. This game is... to me, even with all the bad stuff that has happened, even with the server issues, even with the infinite load screens and, the first 2 or 3 hours of the game not being able to work, it is, when you're in the game, it is phenomenal. It is absolutely a phenomenal experience, and the game is so much fun to play. And I do recommend anybody who wants to even try this game or is even faintly, trying to figure out if they want this game, get it. Just get it. That's all I can say. Get this game because it is 100% worth it. It is going to be worth your time. It is going to be worth your play style. And I'm not being biased or anything about this. This is actually my opinion. This is aside from the server issues that happened that will be fixed because they are working on it right now. They said that they're going to be working on the server issues. They're going to be working on connectivity, making a hub for everybody to hang out with, all kinds of new stuff that's going to be coming out. And with all that being said, the fact that they're working on it is a great thing. They posted out pictures of them working on it currently, a list of things a mile long that they're putting into it before release, and it's just it's great to see that the developers are actually going to put their time into it. Now, if you're wondering about the server issues on launch and stuff like that, yes, they had an issue. They did prepare for a larger influx of people. The thing was their ISPs just didn't go with them at the time. It did not work out for the ISPs, but that wasn't their fault. So don't blame them for this. This isn't like a Bless Online or something like that in comparison. This is just a complete fluke. It was fixed almost instantly, a couple hours. And for all the people that had issues throughout the whole time with the VIP or any pre-order, access to the VIP or anything like that, you will be compensated when the game releases. You will receive some skins. There's a green skin, there's a blue skin, it's for every single one of the classes, all the Javelins that you play. You get to have this for whenever you get into the game. Don't worry, you will be compensated. But even if you're not compensated, the game's going to be great when it launches. If you liked the way it played, if you did play it and you liked the way it felt, and if it gave you that adrenaline rush or that need that you've had for a long time, buy this game. Play it. You're going to love this game. If you haven't had a chance to play this game yet and you've just been watching people play this game and you're a fan of this type of game, I would say buy it. Now, if you're the type of person that doesn't like to grind for hours or to do some of the same stuff over and over again to get a different weapon, or you just don't like shooter games, then I wouldn't say grab this game if you're not interested. But if you're definitely a person who wants to try out something new, and if you want to hop into a new experience with a new looter shooter and some great fun and all of that good stuff, just try it out. Because if you guys don't know, the content that we had in this was just level 10 to 15, and we were very, very limited on the areas that we can go to. There's some bigger areas out there, some more darker areas and lighter areas and all kinds of different places, lava places that I've seen, and it's more expansive than what we've seen. I know there was a lot of people that were complaining that the area had a lot of traversal areas up and down, left and right, all kinds of different places to go to, but it all felt the same. And with that being said, I know it felt the same, but I mean, we were limited to what we could show and what we could play. So don't take it to heart. Take it with a grain of salt. There's going to be a lot more content in the future coming out. Now, as far as my experiences in the game with a couple bugs, I'll list off the things that I did have an issue with in the game. First and foremost, yes, we had the beginning of the game, not the first launch initially. You know, we couldn't connect for a while. It was okay. I mean, if you're patient, you're okay. Just be patient if you want to play the game. That was an issue, but they are going to fix that. Second thing, I didn't get it too much, but I know some of my friends did. The infinite load screen. Yeah, you would try to connect to something, it would kick you to the main screen. You would try to connect to it again, it would kick you to the main screen. It kept happening to a bunch of people. I had it happen, I think, twice. But that's just my experience. I was in the VIP. I wasn't just in the $5 a month, you know, EA access mode. But I mean, I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but that was just my experience. For me, it ran pretty great, pretty phenomenal. But for those people that did experience those issues, just know they will be addressed. They will be fixed. As far as, you know, EA is talking about and all that stuff, they're working hard on getting all this stuff together. And you have to remember, we were in a 6-week old version of the game too, and this was first stress test basically for the game, so you're going to expect some issues here and there. Now, another one of the issues that I ran into that was I mean, it wasn't really that big of an issue, and you could expect it with server issues, but I mean, it was a little annoying, but I mean, it wasn't that big. It was, you'd walk up to a monster you wanted to kill, and you know, the whole group of monsters would disappear. Everything in the area would just disappear. You'd go away, come back, they'd be back. But I mean, it's okay. Just deal with it. It's an early access. You just got to deal with those types of things that happen here and there. I know there was a lot of people that were showing a lot of hate and a lot of biased against that happens, and the fact that they were just, you know, completely against the game just because stuff like that and the server issues were happening. But you got to expect that. This, like I said before, and like I said, this was not as bad as like a launch of Bless Online or something like that, where everything was completely riddled and down. You know, nobody could connect to anything the whole time for like, you know, a long extended period of time. This was just like patches here and there. But this is an old version. You got to deal with it. Now, if it comes down to it and the game releases and there's still a couple little things where monsters are despawning or something like that, then yes, we can start complaining about that because they had time to address the issues. But for now, it's just a couple little despawns. That's my main issue. That's the only thing that really got to me a little bit, but it didn't happen that often. So I can completely overlook the fact that that happened throughout the game. Now, I don't know how their servers work personally. I don't know if it's like Call of Duty where you connect off to somebody else's, you know, personal server, or if they have dedicated servers or anything like that. I did have one instance where I tried to connect into the big dungeon, the purple area, and I got connected to one guy, but the whole thing was completely laggy. As soon as I left his game, it was great. You know, I got into a different party, so that made me think I didn't know if they were, you know, connecting us to each other or if we were connected to a dedicated server. But that was the only issue that I had where it was actual lag. I've seen people posting that they had issues with, you know, a monster just being completely lagged out in one spot. They'd shoot it and shoot it. The monster would take damage, but less damage, and then they would completely just die. The person that was shooting, the creature would die because of lag. And I never actually experienced that myself. I've seen some videos of people doing it, and you know, it's just another one of those server things. You got to expect that with one of these, you know, anything that's pre-alpha, anything that's, you know, beta tested or demoed or anything like that. You got to expect it. As far as anything else goes, as far as the actual gameplay of the game goes, my personal experience is that the game is gorgeous, and for a pre-alpha or for a pre-release or a demo or whatever you want to call it, it ran, on PC at least, phenomenally. It was flawless. I was personally able to play in 1080p, 144 FPS the whole time. My friend who was playing with me, Walshetty, you know, small shout out to him if you want to check him out. He was actually able to play in 4K and 2K without any issues as well. I mean, I have a PC that can handle it, but my screen doesn't handle it, so, you know, that's whatever. But he's able to do that too. And we were on PC, and I was using keyboard and mouse. It was great. He was using controller. It was great. Everything was just, it ran so smooth on PC. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. There was no screen tearing, there was no dropped frames or anything like that. Everything was just, it just felt like it was a polished game that's been out for 6 months or a year, that's just been optimized. And they even said that they're going to be doing even more optimization before launch. So with that, I mean, and more frames is always going to be great, but I don't see how it could be even more optimized. I mean, I can see how you could, you know, make it look better with more light shafts or something like that, but the game looks phenomenal as it is already. And with my experiences in the game, there's not really, I mean, I had 90% uptime in this game, and it was phenomenal. And to me, it was just great. The experience was great. The creatures, there was a great diversity of creatures to fight. It wasn't feeling stale. It wasn't feeling like, oh, I'm doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Because, I mean, there was a great diversity to what you do, even though we were limited in the game to what we were doing. And an actual hard mode in this game was actually really hard. It was actually challenging in this game to play this game on the hard mode, and it wasn't even the hardest difficulty. After you've beat the game or gotten to a certain point, you can go into the master versions and stuff like that, 3 other stages past hard. And with that being said, it's going to be, you know, thousands of percents added to their damage and health and stuff like that. It's going to be hard, and I cannot wait to get into stuff like that because I need something to challenge me like that. And I don't know if it's just me, but the games lately have just been like Warframe. Warframe's challenging, but at the same time, Warframe does a very good job to make you feel overpowered all the time. So it's actually, it's a great game, but you don't really get challenged as much anymore. And same with Destiny. I don't know, Destiny 2 just throws me off. I'm not going to get into that. But with this game, if I had 10 comments on it, 9 of them would be positive. The only real negative that I personally had was the despawning of monsters, but it rarely happened. But it never happened with, you know, main missions. It was just wild spawns. That's all that happened. If I was to give you advice on if you were going to buy this game, I would say yes, definitely. For anybody that is interested in anything remotely close to this, buy this game. My friend Walshetty, he's not even a shooter type person. He just plays RPGs and stuff like that, and he fell in love with this game. So if that says anything about anybody that's, you know, on the fence about playing a shooter game, try it, because he is hardcore like Final Fantasy and, you know, Final Fantasy Online and that kind of types of games, and he loved this game. So, I mean, it's good for everybody to get into. There's so many things that you can do in this game, so many different loadouts, so many different combinations of things that you can do, things that you can show people, experiences that you can have together, and I would definitely recommend this game for anybody that wants to try it out, anybody that wants to hop into a new experience. Pre-order it now, go out there, jump in. I am not sponsored by anybody, just letting you guys know. Nobody's sponsoring me, paying me to say any of this stuff. It's just my personal opinions. So, for me, rating of 1 through 10, I would say this is a 9.5 for me on this game. 9.5 being really great. I've done a few reviews on some games, and this game is one game that is, it's filling that void. The void that I've been looking for in a video game for a long time, since I was hardcore into Destiny 1. Destiny 2 kind of ruined it for me, but this game's filling that void for me, giving me something to look forward to, give me something to grind for, and something I can find myself playing 8 to 10 hours a day on, you know, streaming or not streaming. It doesn't matter. I just want to play the game. I'm already feeling, it's the day after the alpha, and I'm already feeling like I am going through withdrawals in this game. I need it back, guys. Bring it back to us quickly. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to hop off here and try to make some more content and stuff like that. I got to get me some food, though. It's my birthday. I love y'all faces, and may the Dubstep Penguin be with you. Peace out, guys.